Question 1. What is the primary purpose of cyber insurance in the context of risk management? A. To cover the costs of hardware replacements after cyber attacks. B. To provide financial protection against data breaches and cyber attacks. C. To eliminate the need for internal cybersecurity measures. D. To guarantee the recovery of all lost data after a cyber attack. Answer. B. To provide financial protection against data breaches and cyber attacks. Explanation. Cyber insurance is designed to offer financial protection against the potential losses resulting from cyber attacks, such as data breaches, ransomware attacks, and business interruptions. It helps businesses manage the financial risks associated with cybersecurity incidents, covering costs such as legal fees, notification expenses, and crisis management. The other options are incorrect because cyber insurance does not replace the need for internal security measures or guarantee data recovery. Question 2. A West Virginia-based healthcare company experienced a cyber attack resulting in a significant data breach involving patient information. The company's cyber insurance policy includes coverage for legal fees, notification costs, and crisis management. Which of the following actions should the company take first after discovering the breach? A. Immediately notify the media to inform the public. B. Contact the cyber insurance provider and initiate the claims process. C. Wait for confirmation from law enforcement before taking any action. D. Delete all affected data from the system to prevent further exposure. Answer. B. Contact the cyber insurance provider and initiate the claims process. Explanation. In the event of a data breach, the company should immediately contact its cyber insurance provider to begin the claims process. This includes notifying the insurer about the breach, which is critical for timely support regarding legal fees, notification costs, and crisis management. Waiting for law enforcement or deleting data without appropriate evidence preservation can compromise the response and investigation. Public notifications, media outreach should be handled as part of the crisis management process, but the first step is ensuring the insurer is informed. Question 3. Which of the following is an example of an emerging cyber threat that businesses must address in their cyber insurance policies? A. Denial of service DOS, attacks targeting physical assets. B. Ransomware attacks using artificial intelligence AI to bypass traditional defenses. C. Employee negligence resulting in hardware damage. D. Security vulnerabilities in legacy operating systems used by employees. Answer. B. Ransomware attacks using artificial intelligence AI to bypass traditional defenses. Explanation. Emerging cyber threats like AI-driven ransomware attacks are becoming more sophisticated, utilizing advanced techniques to bypass traditional security defenses. This includes using AI to dynamically adapt the attack strategies and increase the success rate of the cyber attack. The other options refer to older or less complex threats, e.g., DOS employee negligence and legacy system vulnerabilities that have been addressed through more established cybersecurity measures. AI-powered threats are a growing concern and should be factored into modern cyber insurance policies. Question 4. Which of the following would be covered under cyber insurance policies? Business interruption coverage. A. The costs associated with replacing damaged hardware due to a cyber attack. B. Revenue losses from an organization being unable to operate due to a ransomware attack. C. The legal fees required to defend the company in a data breach lawsuit. D. The cost of public relations efforts to mitigate damage to the company's reputation after a breach. Answer. B. Revenue losses from an organization being unable to operate due to a ransomware attack. Explanation. Business interruption coverage in a cyber insurance policy typically covers financial losses that result from a company being unable to operate as a result of a cyber attack, such as a ransomware attack that locks down systems. The coverage helps offset lost revenue during the downtime. Options A, C, and D refer to different types of coverage such as hardware replacement, legal defense, and public relations, which are not part of business interruption. Question 5. When underwriting a cyber insurance policy, which of the following factors would most likely result in a higher premium? A. A strong internal cybersecurity program with regular employee training and advanced security protocols. B. A company that has not experienced any previous cyber incidents or claims. C. The presence of outdated software and unpatched vulnerabilities within the organization. D. The organization's compliance with local data protection regulations, such as GDPR. Answer. C. The presence of outdated software and unpatched vulnerabilities within the organization. Explanation: insurance underwriters assess a company's risk factors, and outdated software and unpatched vulnerabilities increase the likelihood of a successful cyber attack, thus raising the risk to the insurer. As a result, the company would likely face higher premiums. A strong cybersecurity program, a clean claims history, and compliance with regulations are all indicators of low risk and would likely result in lower premiums. Question 6. In the event of a data breach, what is the key factor that determines whether or not a business is legally required to notify affected individuals under state and federal laws, such as those in West Virginia? A. The size of the company and number of employees affected. B. Whether the breach data includes personally identifiable information, PA, or sensitive data. C. The type of cyber attack, such as ransomware versus phishing. D. The insurance coverage the business holds. Answer: B. Whether the breach data includes personally identifiable information, PA, or sensitive data. Explanation: under privacy laws and data protection regulations, such as HIPAA, and state-specific laws like those in West Virginia, the requirement to notify affected individuals is triggered if personally identifiable information, PA, or sensitive data, e.g., financial, health, or government identification data, is exposed in the breach. The type of attack or the size of the company is not the primary factor in this notification requirement, though the scale of the breach can influence the response timeline and method. Question 7. If a company purchases a cyber insurance policy with a $1 million coverage limit and a $100,000 deductible, and they experience a cyber attack resulting in $500,000 in damages, how much will the insurance policy cover? A. $500,000. B. $400,000. C. $1 million. D. $100,000. Answer: B. $400,000. Explanation: the deductible is subtracted from the total damage amount. So in this case, the company will need to pay the $100,000 deductible, and the insurance policy will cover the remaining $400,000. Therefore, the insurer will cover $400,000 out of the total $500,000 in damages. The $1 million coverage limit does not apply in this case, as the claim is below the threshold. Question 8. What is the primary responsibility of a company's incident response team after a data breach has been detected? A. To negotiate with hackers to recover the stolen data. B. To assess the scope of the breach, contain the incident, and begin recovery processes. C. To inform all employees about the breach and prevent further unauthorized access. D. To immediately notify the media and customers about the breach. Answer: B. To assess the scope of the breach, contain the incident, and begin recovery processes. Explanation: the primary responsibility of the incident response team is to assess the extent of the breach, mitigate the damage, and initiate recovery processes. This includes identifying how the breach occurred, containing further exposure, and starting the recovery efforts to restore normal operations. While informing stakeholders is important, the immediate focus should be on managing and containing the incident. Question 9. What is the most likely reason a company would purchase a cyber insurance policy with a low deductible? A. To ensure that all types of cyber attacks are covered, including unreported ones. B. To minimize the amount the company must pay out of pocket before insurance coverage begins. C. To reduce the cost of premiums and make the insurance more affordable. D. To increase the coverage limit in the event of a large data breach. Answer: B. To minimize the amount the company must pay out of pocket before insurance coverage begins. Explanation: a low deductible means that the company will pay less upfront before the insurance coverage kicks in, which is beneficial if they face a cyber attack. This is typically chosen to minimize out-of-pocket costs. While a low deductible might slightly increase premiums, it ensures that the company can access coverage more quickly in the event of an incident. The other options do not align with the purpose of selecting a low deductible. Question 10. The business has a cyber insurance policy that covers cyber extortion, but the policy excludes losses caused by acts of terrorism. If a hacker launches a ransomware attack demanding payment under the threat of releasing sensitive company data, which of the following would most likely determine whether the business is covered? A. Whether the ransom amount is over $500,000. B. Whether the ransomware attack is linked to a known terrorist group. C. Whether the data targeted in the attack is classified as intellectual property. D. Whether the hacker's actions are classified as a terrorist act under the policy. Answer: B. Whether the ransomware attack is linked to a known terrorist group. Explanation. While the policy may cover cyber extortion, it could exclude losses due to acts of terrorism. If the ransomware attack is determined to be perpetrated by a known terrorist group, the insurance may not cover the losses due to the terrorism exclusion clause. Insurance policies often contain clauses that specifically exclude claims related to terrorism, and determining the involvement of terrorist organizations could be the key factor in whether a claim is paid. Question 11. Which of the following best describes a business continuity plan in the context of cyber insurance? A plan designed to quickly restore a company's physical infrastructure following a cyber attack. B. A strategy focused on maintaining daily business operations during and after a cyber incident. C. A long-term financial recovery plan following a cyber attack's impact. D. A public relations strategy to improve the company's image after a data breach. Answer. B. A strategy focused on maintaining daily business operations during and after cyber incident. Explanation. A business continuity plan is designed to ensure that critical business functions can continue even during or after cyber incident. This includes maintaining operations despite a data breach, ransomware attack, or other cyber disruptions. While restoring infrastructure and financial recovery are important, business continuity primarily focuses on keeping daily operations going. Public relations strategies are part of crisis management but not specifically business continuity. Question 12. What is the primary purpose of a social engineering attack in the context of cybersecurity? A. To bypass encryption protocols and access sensitive information. B. To manipulate individuals into divulging confidential information through psychological manipulation. C. To exploit vulnerabilities in network infrastructure. D. To overwhelm a website with traffic, causing it to crash. Answer. B. To manipulate individuals into divulging confidential information through psychological manipulation. Explanation. Social engineering attacks rely on manipulating people into revealing confidential information or performing actions that compromise security. This can include phishing, pretexting, or baiting. The key element of such attacks is the use of psychological manipulation rather than technical exploitation of vulnerabilities. Question 13. Which of the following is typically not a component of a comprehensive cyber insurance policy? A. Coverage for data breaches. B. Coverage for physical damage to office property. C. Coverage for cyber extortion, ransomware. D. Coverage for lost revenue due to downtime caused by cyber attacks. Answer. B. Coverage for physical damage to office property. Explanation. Cyber insurance typically covers risks directly related to digital operations, such as data breaches, cyber extortion like ransomware attacks, and lost revenue due to downtime from cyber incidents. However, it does not generally cover physical property damage, which would be covered under a traditional property insurance policy. Question 14. A company's cyber insurance policy has a retroactive date clause. What does this clause mean? A. The policy will only cover incidents that occur after the policy is purchased. B. The policy will cover incidents that occurred before the policy was purchased, but only within a certain time frame. C. The policy will cover data breaches that are discovered after the policy period ends. D. The policy will only cover future incidents and exclude any past claims. Answer. B. The policy will cover incidents that occurred before the policy was purchased, but only within a certain time frame. Explanation. A retroactive date clause allows coverage for incidents that occurred before the policy was purchased, but only within a certain period. This is important for businesses purchasing cyber insurance after a previous incident may have occurred. The retroactive period is typically specified in the policy. Question 15. In the event of a data breach, which of the following would be the responsibility of the insured company in a cyber insurance claim? A. Immediately restoring all company systems and data. B. Identifying and reporting the breach to the insurance company and relevant authorities. C. Negotiating with the hackers to retrieve the stolen data. D. Publicly disclosing the breach to maintain company transparency. Answer. B. Identifying and reporting the breach to the insurance company and relevant authorities. Explanation. When a data breach occurs, it is the insured company's responsibility to identify the breach, assess its impact, and report it to both the insurance company and relevant authorities, depending on legal requirements. While restoring systems and addressing the breach are essential actions, negotiating with hackers or public disclosure are not typically part of the company's responsibility under most cyber insurance policies. Question 16. If a company does not maintain proper data protection practices and suffers a cyber attack, how might this affect their cyber insurance claim? A. The company may receive full coverage regardless of their data protection practices. B. The company may face a reduced payout or denial of the claim due to negligence. C. The company will only be partially covered for the loss of data. D. The company will be reimbursed for all expenses associated with the attack. Answer. B. The company may face the reduced payout or denial of the claim due to negligence. Explanation. Many cyber insurance policies include a clause requiring the company to follow certain data protection practices, e.g., keeping systems updated using strong passwords. If the company fails to meet these requirements and suffers a cyber attack, the insurer may reduce the payout or deny the claim entirely based on negligence. Insurers may also argue that the company contributed to the incident by failing to follow best practices. Question 17. Which of the following is a primary advantage of cyber insurance for small businesses? A. It ensures that all data will be restored within 24 hours of a cyber attack. B. It provides financial protection against the costs of managing a cyber attack, including legal fees and extortion payments. C. It guarantees that no data breaches will ever occur. D. It offers unlimited coverage for any type of cyber incident. Answer. B. It provides financial protection against the costs of managing a cyber attack, including legal fees and extortion payments. Explanation. The primary advantage of cyber insurance for small businesses is financial protection. Cyber insurance helps cover the costs associated with a cyber attack, such as legal fees, public relations expenses, and potential extortion payments. It does not guarantee that data breaches will not occur, nor does it offer unlimited coverage. Question 18. Which of the following types of cyber insurance coverage is typically triggered by a ransomware attack? A. Network security liability coverage. B. Business interruption coverage. C. Cyber extortion coverage. D. Property damage coverage. Answer. C. Cyber extortion coverage. Explanation. Cyber extortion coverage is specifically designed to address incidents like ransomware attacks. This coverage can help cover ransom payments and the costs associated with managing the extortion incident. Network security liability and business interruption coverage might also apply in broader contexts, but they are not specifically designed for ransomware scenarios. Property damage coverage is unrelated to cyber incidents. Question 19. What is the primary purpose of a business interruption clause in a cyber insurance policy? A. To cover the loss of revenue during a cyber attack due to system downtime or other operational disruptions. B. To cover the cost of restoring physical property that was damaged by a cyber attack. C. To protect against data breaches involving intellectual property. D. To compensate for damages to third-party contractors affected by the incident. Answer. A. To cover the loss of revenue during a cyber attack due to system downtime or other operational disruptions. Explanation. The business interruption clause in a cyber insurance policy is designed to cover lost income and additional expenses incurred due to operational disruptions caused by a cyber event. This can include downtime caused by a ransomware attack or other cyber incidents. It does not cover physical property damage or damages to third-party contractors. Question 20. In a data breach incident, which of the following is typically required for compliance with breach notification laws in the United States? A. The company must immediately provide a detailed list of affected individuals to the insurer. B. The company must notify affected individuals and regulators within a specified time frame. C. The company must publicly announce the breach to avoid penalties. D. The company must offer free identity theft protection to all affected individuals. Answer. B. The company must notify affected individuals and regulators within a specified time frame. Explanation. Under laws like the GDPR, CCPA, and various state laws in the US, companies are required to notify affected individuals and regulators within a specific period, usually 60 days after data breach. Public announcements and identity theft protection may be required or recommended but are not mandatory under most laws. Question 21. What is the role of a third-party cyber risk assessment in the underwriting process of cyber insurance? A. To evaluate the insured's financial stability in the event of a cyber incident. B. To assess the cyber risk and security posture of a business's third-party vendors and partners. C. To conduct a forensic investigation of any past cyber incidents. D. To determine the market value of the business's data assets. Answer: B. To assess the cyber risk and security posture of a business's third-party vendors and partners. Explanation: third-party cyber risk assessments are conducted to evaluate the security measures and cyber risks associated with vendors or partners. This is important because vulnerabilities in third-party systems like contractors or service providers can affect the insured business. The assessment helps insurers understand these risks when underwriting policies. Question 22. When a company experiences a cyber attack, which of the following is typically covered by cyber extortion insurance? A. The costs associated with restoring compromised data. B. The cost of paying a ransom demand made by cybercriminals. C. The loss of intellectual property due to the attack. D. The legal fees associated with notifying affected customers. Answer: B. The cost of paying a ransom demand made by cybercriminals. Explanation: cyber extortion coverage is specifically designed to cover costs related to ransomware attacks, including the payment of ransom demands made by cybercriminals. While the coverage types may address data restoration, legal fees, and intellectual property losses, cyber extortion coverage focuses on the ransom component. Question 23. Which of the following best describes the concept of a retroactive date cyber insurance policy? A. A clause that defines the time period during which a breach must occur for coverage to apply. B. A clause that applies to claims involving incidents that occurred before the policy's effective date. C. A clause that limits coverage to incidents occurring during a specific window of time and after the policy is purchased. D. A clause that covers any breach that happens after the policy expires. Answer: B. A clause that applies to claims involving incidents that occurred before the policy's effective date. Explanation: a retroactive date clause allows cyber insurance coverage to apply to incidents that occurred before the policy's effective date as long as the event falls within the retroactive period specified in the policy. This ensures that businesses can receive coverage for incidents that were not discovered until after the policy was purchased. Question 24. What is the primary focus of a risk assessment in the context of cyber insurance underwriting? A. To evaluate the financial stability of the company. B. To identify the physical risks associated with business operations. C. To assess the cyber security posture and potential vulnerabilities of the organization. D. To calculate the maximum loss potential of a cyber attack. Answer: C. To assess the cyber security posture and potential vulnerabilities of the organization. Explanation: in cyber insurance underwriting, the primary focus of risk assessments is to evaluate the company's cybersecurity posture, including identifying potential vulnerabilities, weaknesses, and the adequacy of existing security measures. This helps insurers determine the likelihood and potential impact of a cyber event on the business. Question 25. A company has just experienced a phishing attack where several employees were tricked into providing login credentials. Which of the following should be prioritized in the company's incident response plan? A. Report the attack to regulatory authorities. B. Restore any lost data from backups. C. Perform a digital forensics investigation to understand the breach's scope. D. Notify customers of the breach. Answer: C. Perform a digital forensics investigation to understand the breach's scope. Explanation: in the event of a phishing attack, conducting a digital forensics investigation is critical to understand how the attack occurred, which systems or data were impacted, and the potential risks to the business. While reporting the attack and notifying customers are important, the forensic investigation will provide the necessary information to guide further actions. Question 26. Which of the following cyber risks is most associated with advanced persistent threats? A. Quick attacks designed to steal sensitive data immediately. B. Continuous stealthy attacks aimed at gaining long-term access to systems. C. Attacks that disrupt the availability of services and websites. D. Attacks that rely on exploiting a single vulnerability in a system. Answer: B. Continuous stealthy attacks aimed at gaining long-term access to systems. Explanation: advanced persistent threats (APTs) are sophisticated cyber attacks characterized by long-term, targeted efforts to infiltrate and maintain access to a system or network. APTs typically aim to gather sensitive information or compromised data over an extended period, often without detection. They are not quick or one-time attacks. Question 27. Which type of cyber insurance coverage would be most relevant to a company that faces a data breach involving customers' personal health information via A. Privacy liability coverage, B. Network security liability coverage, C. Intellectual property theft protection, D. Business interruption coverage. Answer A. Privacy liability coverage. Explanation. Privacy liability coverage is designed to cover the costs and liabilities associated with the exposure or breach of personal data, such as PHI. This coverage is particularly relevant for organizations in healthcare or other industries that handle sensitive personal information. Question 28. What is typically the most important factor in determining the price of a cyber insurance policy? A. The company's revenue and total number of employees. B. The level of cybersecurity controls and risk management practices in place. C. The geographic location of the company. D. The number of third-party vendors the company works with. Answer. B. The level of cybersecurity controls and risk management practices in place. Explanation. The pricing of cyber insurance policies is largely influenced by the company's cybersecurity posture and risk management practices. Businesses with stronger security measures, e.g., up-to-date firewalls, encryption, employee training, are seen as low risk and may receive lower premiums. Revenue and location are also factors but are secondary to security controls. Question 29. Which of the following would be considered a vendor risk in the context of cyber insurance? A. A data breach occurring due to poor security practices by a company's third-party service provider. B. A ransomware attack that impacts the company's internal systems. C. A data loss caused by a natural disaster affecting the company's headquarters. D. A system failure due to an outdated software used by the company's IT team. Answer A. A data breach occurring due to poor security practices by a company's third-party service provider. Explanation. Vendor risks refer to the cybersecurity risks associated with third-party vendors or service providers. If a company's vendor experiences a breach due to weak security, the business that relies on the vendor could also be impacted. These risks are an important consideration for cyber insurance underwriting. Question 30. What is the main purpose of an incident response plan in the context of a cyber attack? A. To ensure the business can resume normal operations as quickly as possible. B. To immediately notify customers and regulatory authorities. C. To preserve and collect digital evidence for future litigation. D. To detect the cyber attack as early as possible and contain the damage. Answer D. To detect the cyber attack as early as possible and contain the damage. Explanation. The main goal of an incident response plan is to quickly detect and contain the damage caused by a cyber attack. By identifying the attack early, businesses can limit its impact, prevent further damage, and begin recovery processes more efficiently. Other actions like preserving evidence and notifying stakeholders are part of the broader response, but not the primary objective.